The sound of the crystal goblet shattering on the hardwood floor cut through the room like a gunshot. I didn't drop it. My hands weren't even shaking. It was my sister, Emily, who froze mid-sentence, her mouth still open, her expression a grotesque blend of triumph and shock. The entire dining room fell silent. Even the kids stopped their little squabbles, their eyes darting between the adults like they sensed something irreversible had just cracked open. You have $12.6 million? My mother whispered, her voice thin, trembling with something that sounded disturbingly like greed. That was the moment I realized Emily hadn't slipped. She had detonated a bomb, and I was standing right in the center of the blast. My pulse hammered in my throat as 20 pairs of eyes fixed on me across the long Thanksgiving table. The golden light from the chandelier felt too bright, exposing every breath, every twitch, every heartbeat. I could hear myself breathing, shallow, uneven, as if the air suddenly weighed too much to inhale. Emily didn't blink. She just smiled, tucking a perfectly straight strand of hair behind her ear. "Oh, don't act shocked," she said lightly, picking up her wine as if she hadn't just gutted me in front of the very people I'd spent years trying to support. "You all should know who you're dealing with. Our little Marie here has been sitting on nearly $13 million while we've been struggling." Struggling. The word rang in my ears like a cruel joke. Struggling because Emily refused to work more than 20 hours a week. Because my parents constantly bailed her out of her impulsive spending. Because my brothers treated responsibility like an optional hobby. I felt the muscle in my jaw tighten. "Emily," I said quietly, "you had no right." "Oh please," she scoffed. "You've been hiding it for years. What were you planning to do, huh? Let me drown? Let Mom and Dad drown? Let all of us worry about bills while you're sitting on a fortune?" "I earned it," I whispered, but it came out too soft. She heard it. Everyone heard it. Her eyes gleamed. Sure. You earned it. But we're family. Family shares." She gave a slow, syrupy smile. "Right, everyone?" My mother's fingers tightened around her napkin, knuckles going pale. My father cleared his throat, a sound that made my stomach twist. My oldest brother leaned back in his chair like he was assessing the worth of something he hadn't realized was valuable until now. My world tilted, narrowing into a pulse of fear and betrayal that radiated through my chest. I should have spoken. I should have screamed. But flashbacks hit me like knives. Every birthday where I paid for their gifts, every time I covered rent for Emily, every loan I knew I'd never see again, every moment I told myself, at least they love me. At least I matter to them. In that moment I saw the truth. I didn't matter. My money did. Emily lifted her glass. "In fact," she continued, "we were just talking earlier before Marie got here, about how much it would help if she gave me, I don't know, a small monthly allowance? Nothing crazy. Just enough so I can finally live comfortably and focus on healing my mental health." Healing her mental health. Translation. She didn't want to get a job. I swallowed hard. "You talked about this before I arrived?" "Of course," she said breezily. "We're family. We should be able to discuss these things." No, they should have asked me. A cold wave washed over me. Who else was involved in this discussion? Everyone looked away. Everyone. Except Emily. She took another sip of wine. Everyone at this table. My throat burned. "So you planned this? All of you?" My brothers shifted uncomfortably. My sister-in-law wouldn't meet my eyes. My mother dabbed her lips with a napkin like she was preparing for a negotiation. My father cleared his throat again, this time with a pointed firmness that sent a chill through me. "Marie," he said calmly, "you have to understand that when one member of the family achieves success, they have a responsibility to help the rest. A responsibility. Not a gift. Not kindness. A responsibility. Like I was no longer a daughter, a sister, a human being. Just a bank account." Emily twirled her fork, satisfied. "So let's keep this simple. You can fund my rent. And my therapy. And maybe my car payment." "No," I said. She blinked. "What?" "No," I repeated louder this time. "I don't owe you anything." Emily laughed like I told a joke so stupid it didn't deserve to be acknowledged. "Marie, don't be dramatic. I'm not giving you my money." She leaned in. "Oh, you will. Emily. Because if you don't," she gave a sickly sweet smile, "I'll tell everyone where the money came from." My breath stopped. Completely stopped. No one else knew. Not my parents. Not my friends. Not my coworkers. Not a single soul. I had spent 10 years guarding that secret so carefully it became a shadow stitched into my identity. I hadn't told them because I didn't want to change. I didn't want to become prey or a trophy or something to be competed with. They can't know I'd once thought. If they know, they'll stop seeing you. Some secrets crush the soul if spoken aloud. My hands began to tremble. Emily, don't. Her smile widened. You should have thought about that before you tried to keep it a secret from your own family. The room blurred around the edges. The walls seemed to pulse. My mother's voice sliced through the fog. Emily, honey, maybe you shouldn't threaten her. Threaten? Emily laughed again. No, don't twist it that way. I'm just reminding Marie of the truth. And the truth is she owes us. All of us. A hot tear burned down my cheek before I could stop it. My sister glanced at the tear, then at me. And she looked pleased. My father sighed heavily. Marie, sweetheart. Just support your sister. Don't make this difficult. My brother chimed in. Yeah. It's not like you'll miss that money. My sister-in-law murmured. Everyone helps each other. This isn't a big ask. Not a big ask. $12.6 million suddenly felt like a noose. Like something that made me less loved, not more. Emily's voice softened, almost gentle. We're family. And if you don't help, it would be cruel. Almost selfish. Selfish. The word hit me with such force I felt physically shoved. All the years I'd spent biting my tongue, choosing peace, giving more than I got, swallowing insults, enduring guilt trips, selfish. All the nights I cried alone in my apartment after bailing them out again, selfish. All the sacrifices I made to build my wealth from nothing, selfish. Emily leaned forward, eyes narrowing. So what's it going to be? Her question hung in the air like a blade poised above my neck. Somewhere deep inside me, something old and tired cracked open. A memory surfaced, tiny, quiet, but sharp. Emily laughing at me when we were 13 because I cried after she stole my favorite necklace. You're too sensitive, she'd said. You're so easy to manipulate. I hadn't understood that word then. I understood now. My heart thudded painfully. My voice when it came was small but steady. You don't love me. Emily blinked, taken aback by the unexpected direction. What? You don't love me, I repeated louder this time. None of you do. You love what I can give you. My father stiffened. Marie. You've all taken from me for years, I whispered. Every time I helped, you asked for more. Every time I said yes, you made it the bare minimum. Every time I gave, you felt entitled. Marie, that's not. My mother started, but I cut her off. But now that you think I'm wealthy, now suddenly I'm valuable. Emily opened her mouth, but for the first time, no words came out. A strange calm washed over me, cold and precise. Where the money came from is my business, I said quietly. And I won't be giving you a cent. Emily leaned back, her smile gone. Her eyes darkened with something venomous. Oh, she whispered. We'll see about that. A chill ran through my spine so violently I felt my bones tense. Because in that moment, I knew something was coming. Something worse than threats. Worse than guilt. Worse than humiliation. Emily had always been dangerous when she felt cornered. But I had never seen her look like this. And the worst part? I had absolutely no idea what she was about to do. The night air felt too sharp when I stepped outside. Like every breath cut a thin line across my throat. I sat in my car for a long moment, hands gripping the wheel, trying to breathe through the burn in my chest. My family's voices still echoed in my ears, overlapping until they blurred into something monstrous. You owe us. Don't be difficult. We're family. Selfish. 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 I didn't cry. Not yet. My body felt too stiff, too numb, like my heart was holding its breath, afraid to shatter. When I finally pulled away from the house, I watched Emily through the window one last time. She stood with her arms crossed, her face twisted into something predatory. My parents flanked her like loyal soldiers, and my brothers hovered nearby, already talking, already plotting. The sight of them, all under the warm light of a home I was no longer welcome in, hollowed me out in a way I couldn't describe. It wasn't until I reached my apartment that the tears finally came. Not soft tears. Not delicate cinematic sobs. These were raw, jagged animal tears that ripped from somewhere deep, someplace I had spent years trying to protect. I slid down against the door, curled up on the floor, and let grief shake through my whole body. It wasn't just about money. It was about trust. It was the realization that I'd been a placeholder to them. A convenient tool, a safety net, an unending resource. I had spent so long trying to be the good daughter, the understanding sister, the dependable one. I never saw that they only valued me when I filled their empty spaces. And tonight, Emily had ripped away whatever illusions I had left. When my sobs finally subsided, exhaustion pulled me to sleep right there on the floor. Hours later, around 3 in the morning, my phone buzzed. Once, twice, then continuously, as if someone were hammering on the other side of the screen. I rubbed my swollen eyes and lifted the phone with trembling fingers. Messages. Dozens of them. From numbers I didn't recognize. From social media accounts I didn't remember adding. My heart lurched violently as I opened the first one. So you hiding millions and you are family starving? The nerve, lol. Greedy bitch. Another. Wow, must be nice sitting on cash while you are sis can't even make rent. You are disgusting. Another. Your parents raised you and you repay them like this? Shameful. I read them until the words blurred. Then I scrolled up to see where it all started. A new post. A picture of me smiling at last year's Thanksgiving dinner table. And written above it in Emily's unmistakable writing style. My sister has over $12 million and refuses to help her struggling family. Smiley face. Everyone tell her what you think. My breath punched out of my lungs. I clicked her profile. She had tagged me. In everything. She had posted my full name, my city, my workplace. Below the post, hundreds of comments. Some mocking. Some vicious. Some threatening. The kind of comments that burrowed under the skin and lodged there like glass. My stomach heaved. She hadn't just exposed the money. She had exposed me. She had weaponized the internet against me. For a few long, agonizing minutes, I just stared at my shaking reflection in the phone screen. A small broken breath escaped me. She wanted to ruin me. As I scrolled, I found voice messages she'd sent directly to people. She told them I abandoned her. Told them I was secretly rich. Told them I made her cry. Told them she might be evicted because of me. Told them I was a narcissistic monster. Told them I lied to the entire family for a decade. I dropped the phone like it burned. My chest caved inward. My hands shook uncontrollably. My ears rang until everything felt far away. A heavy, suffocating thought pressed into my mind. She is trying to break me. The next morning I called in sick. My voice barely worked. Every time I tried to speak, it cracked. I sat on the edge of my bed, staring at the floor, numb and hollowed out. My boss left a voicemail that made my veins run cold. Marie, I don't know what's happening online, but HR needs to talk to you immediately. Call me back as soon as you can. My breath faltered. Emily hadn't just embarrassed me publicly. She had jeopardized my career, the very career that allowed me to build the life I had. I dialed my boss back and explained what I could through a tightened throat. She was sympathetic, kind, but cautious. We'll do what we can, she said. But this level of attention, it can cause complications. Especially since your position involves finances. Finances. The irony nearly choked me. After the call, I sat staring at the wall for what felt like hours. Then a new message buzzed. Emily, I hope you are ready to talk now. We can make this all stop. Just meet me. She sent an address. Our childhood park. I stared at the message for a long time, feeling something unfamiliar curling beneath my ribs. Not grief. Not fear. Something colder. Resolve. If I didn't deal with this now, she would bury me alive. I grabbed my coat and keys, my entire body buzzing with a strange mixture of dread and determination. When I arrived, Emily was already there, sitting on a swing, gently rocking back and forth. She glanced up as I approached and smirked. You look terrible. Why did you do that? I asked, voice trembling. Why did you attack me online? I didn't attack you, she said, rolling her eyes. I defended myself. People needed to know what kind of person you are. You lied. I told my truth. I stared at her, searching for any hint of remorse. There was none. Just calculation, entitlement, and something disturbingly satisfied. You're ruining my life, I whispered. No, she tilted her head. I'm giving you a choice. You help me financially or you face the consequences. Considering how fast this is blowing up, I'd say you don't have much time. She hopped off the swing and dusted her hands dramatically. And by the way, she added, Mom and Dad agree with me. They said if you won't help voluntarily, we'll make sure you're pressured to. My throat tightened painfully. They're helping you do this? Oh, come on, she said. Don't act surprised. You kept all that money secret. You lied to them. You lied to all of us. You're the bad guy here. My pulse throbbed in my ears. I never lied, I whispered. I just didn't tell you. Same thing, she snapped. No, it's not. She scoffed. Semantics. Emily, I said slowly, where did you get the number? 12.6 million. How did you know? For the first time she hesitated. Just a flicker. Then she straightened her posture. I guessed. I shook my head. No, you didn't guess. Her lips parted. Her eyes darted away. And suddenly a cold realization slid through my spine. You hacked me, I whispered. She froze. I changed my passwords last month. I set up two-factor authentication. And the only time that number has ever been on a screen was during a transfer on my personal laptop. My voice cracked. You broke into my account. I didn't break in, she snapped. I just looked. Looked. I repeated, breath trembling. Emily, that's a crime. So what? She said with a dismissive shrug. You weren't using the money anyway. For a moment the world around me dimmed. I saw her hands, her posture, the tightness in her jaw, the lack of fear, the total absence of empathy. This wasn't desperation. This was greed. This was control. This was punishment for daring to have something she couldn't touch. I inhaled shakily. I'm done, Emily. No, she said, stepping forward, eyes flaring with anger. You're not. Yes, I said firmly. You crossed every line. You exposed me to thousands of strangers. You violated my privacy. You tried to destroy my livelihood. You hacked my accounts. You threatened me. You weaponized our family. And you have the nerve to demand money. Her expression hardened. If you don't help me, I will destroy you. You already tried, I whispered. And now, I'm protecting myself. What's that supposed to mean? She scoffed. It means I filed a report. My voice barely shook. I have proof of everything. Screenshots, logs, messages, IP traces, your posts, your threats. She blanched. You didn't, she whispered. I did, I said. And I'm getting a restraining order. Her eyes widened. You wouldn't dare. You left me no choice. Emily lunged forward, grabbing my arm. You think the police will protect you? You think you can just walk away? You owe me. I pulled my arm free. No, I don't. Her face contorted. Anger, disbelief, and something broken simmering underneath. You're ruining my life, she whispered fiercely. No, I said, stepping back. You're ruining your own. For a moment she just stared at me. The swing creaked in the wind behind her. The sky felt too big, the world too quiet. Then her expression shifted into something dark and vengeful. This isn't over, she hissed. I held her gaze. Yes, it is. I turned and walked away, my legs trembling, my heart pounding so loudly it drowned out the wind. I didn't look back. I didn't need to, because for the first time in my life I finally understood something. Emily wasn't my responsibility. She wasn't my burden. She wasn't even my family anymore. She was a lesson, and I was done being her victim. When I reached my car, my phone buzzed again. A message from an unknown number. This one wasn't a threat. It wasn't an insult. It wasn't a demand. It was a screenshot. A police officer responding to my report. We've opened an investigation. I exhaled shakily, tears finally breaking free. But this time they weren't grief. They were release. And for the first time in years, maybe in my entire life, I felt something terrifying and beautiful blooming inside me. Freedom. And the beginning of the life I truly deserved.